Hi, I'm Arthur Benjamin, and I'm here with Farrah White, and we're here with Romo today. Each week we tell you about a great dog organization in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that's doing something amazing for dogs, and it's no different today. We have a great organization and a great little dog named Romo.
Did you know, Arthur, that for 21 consecutive years, Labradors have been voted the #1 favorite dog by the American Kennel Club?
Tell me why.
Yeah, right. Because they're loyal and they're lovable and they're affectionate and they're fantastic with kids. I mean, look, clearly, look at him with this kid on the rug.
Which kid?
That kid.
Oh, okay.
Well, someone who knows a lot about labs is Lisa Hyne, who happens to be with us here today. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
And you actually are the executive director of DFW Lab Rescue?
That's correct.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for doing what you do. And tell us about this guy.
Well, this is Romo. He's about 6 or 7 months old. And he has a pretty typical story for our rescue organization. He was found as a stray by a Good Samaritan who saw him limping down the road, and she took him in and took him to the vet and found out that he had a dislocated hip. And she wasn't able to cover that expense herself or care for him, so she contacted us. And we took Romo into our program and we got him the surgery that he needed. And so he's been post-operation about 30 days now.
Yay.
He's doing great. It has not slowed him down at all. And he's available for adoption now. So he's looking for an active home.
You're supposed to look over there. Look at the camera.
So
look at
pretty.
the camera and say, I'm available for adoption.
Yes. Yeah, he's absolutely beautiful and so shiny and friendly.
Is it true about labs? Are they all this lovable?
They definitely love to be loved. Like you were saying, you know, lab's the #1 breed in America because they do have that reputation for just being loving and loyal and gentle and very intelligent too. So we certainly have a lot of lovable labs in our organization available for adoption.
I don't know if you know the story, but I adopted a lab years and years ago, and it was the runt of the litter.
Really?
And it was a female, and she was supposed to be very little, and she weighed in at 106 pounds.
Oh, no. Yeah, I guess some of them are different sizes.
Definitely.
How cute. Yeah, I don't know how big this guy will get. He looks like wouldn't get much bigger, huh?
I think he's growing pretty quick. 6 to 7 months. They'll actually grow until they're about 2 years old. So he could be anywhere up to 100 pounds, or I think an average lab is about 75 pounds. So.
Well, that makes sense. Well, tell us some of the other traits and things in labs that you love.
Well, you know, I love the breed because they are intelligent, so they're very adaptable, and they're also very, for the most part, easily trainable, which is great because, as most people know, labs are puppies for about 2 years, so they're cute little bundles of joy when they're 10 pounds, but 6 months later, you know, you've got a 60-pound puppy. So the nice thing about labs is they are really smart, and they're very trainable.
And they talk.
Yeah, and they do.
They have a reputation of being good with kids, and you know, they're just a very loving, loyal breed. You know, they're the type of dog that wants to be with you. That, you know, they're people dogs. So that's the nice thing, is that people looking for a pet, labs are ideal because they're going to want to be with you and want to spend time with you.
Tell us a little bit more about DFW Lab Rescue.
Well, we're really excited to celebrate our 15th year.
Yay!
Our organization was established as a nonprofit about 15 years ago. We've grown tremendously since then, which is great. We currently have about 35 to 40 dogs in our program at any given time. They're all kept in foster homes, so we don't have a physical location. So we rely on volunteers to take our dogs into their home and keep them until they're adopted. Majority of our dogs are pulled from shelters. So in Romo's case, it's pretty typical. They're found as a stray, no one claims them. They usually end up in shelters. We usually pull most of our dogs from shelters. We are a nonprofit organization, so we rely solely on donations to keep us going. we spend about $100,000 a year on veterinary costs for our dogs.
So how much is an operation like Romo had?
Probably several $1,000s. The thing I love about our organization is, we take in a dog and we commit to that dog. So we do what it takes to give that dog another chance. And in Romo's case, had he ended up in the shelter, we probably wouldn't have made it out. So I love that our organization goes above and beyond to help a dog. And as you can see, Romo is a very happy boy and healthy. Yeah. So he has a good prognosis.
And what about special needs dogs?
We do see a lot of special needs dogs. They range from, dogs who've been hit by a car. We have dogs that we've pulled that have come down with cancer. We have a dog in our program right now named Zenith who has a really unique story. When we pulled him, he had a sinus infection in his nose, and we didn't really think anything of it, but we took him to the vet and found out that he had a quarter-sized hole in his mouth on the roof of his palate, and it's believed to be a gunshot wound. It broke some of his teeth, and as a result, anytime he ingested anything, it was going up into his nasal cavity. So he had about 7 surgeries to keep that mouth closed, or the palate closed. And then he also had to have a full rhinotomy, which is where they go in and clear out the nose because he had a lot of debris in there that was causing him an infection. So you never know when you pull a dog, what you're really getting. You may think you're pulling a healthy dog. And in this case, he's been in our program almost a year trying to recover from everything, but he is healthy and recovered, and we are looking for a home for him today. He's a great dog. And again, it just goes back to, we commit to a dog when we pull it, and we're willing to, ensure that it gets the best care.
Do you know how many dogs in 15 years you guys have rescued?
A lot. 15 years is a long time to be around, and we estimate about 2,000 dogs have been rescued and rehomed through our organization, which is amazing. Thank you.
It is amazing.
It really is.
Really, really proud.
We're super excited. It's a huge impact on the community, and it's on an all volunteer group. So everyone donates their time and their resources, and that's what makes it really special. Is it's the Dallas-Fort Worth community that helped us really achieve saving all those dogs.
So you need rescues and foster homes.
Absolutely. Our 2 greatest needs are money, as always, and then foster homes and volunteers, because we don't have a physical location. So all of our dogs are kept in foster homes, so we really don't pull a dog unless we have a place to put it.
Which makes sense. How do you find your volunteers?
Well, usually word of mouth. A lot of our adopters come back and end up, volunteering with our organization. Many might end up fostering.
He wants money.
He's looking for a donation.
He looks money.
So yeah, we have a Facebook page, DFW Lab Rescue, where people can learn more about our group and what we're all about. Our website as well. If you can't foster, we understand. We do a lot of events and fundraisers. We have a lot of things we could use help with, so we're always happy to have volunteers join our group.
So he just really wants to say, rescue me, adopt me, please adopt me.
So the process to adopt, how do people go about it? What can they do?
Well, some people think our process is a little cumbersome, but actually it's a great process because we're looking for forever homes for our dogs. So we do have an online application that you can fill out. It's pretty lengthy. We ask all kinds of questions about where the dog will be, what kind of activities you're going to do with it. That helps us understand what you're really looking for in a dog. If you have any existing pets, we do contact your vet to make sure that they're up to date on shots and spayed and neutered. And then the last part of our process is we actually send a volunteer out to your home. And we like to meet the people that are going to adopt from us, and we also just like to see the environment where the dog will be. So the process takes a couple weeks to get through, which actually is great. It really gives people the opportunity to think about if they really can make that lifetime commitment of a dog, as opposed to just getting a dog the same day you think you want one. So it really helps us match our dogs with the right home and vice versa.
Yeah, man, I wish other things in life had that process. Had to think about
That's
things.
right.
Well, he's lovely. Look at that face. I
He's
mean,
not
are you
a lab.
are you seeing this
He's
face?
He's not a lab dog. He's a lap dog.
He is a lap dog. Look at him. He is so sweet. And we have a couple of other dogs with us today, don't we?
We do. We have several dogs that have been adopted from us recently. I believe Trooper and his adopter, Brad, will be coming out.
Come on in,
Now,
Brad.
do we want to go exchange them?
Yep, I'm gonna take this guy out. Oh, friendly.
Say hi, everybody.
Say hi. Let's go.
Oh, look,
Come
that's
on, Romo.
Trooper, huh, on the screen. Look how sweet.
Come on, Chris.
Now tell us
Sorry.
about these guys and introduce yourself, Brad.
I'm Brad Martin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And what do you do with this organization?
Well, I take in labs. Apparently,
Yes, you do.
I was introduced to DFW Lab Rescue through a business associate of mine about 1.5 years ago, and I adopted Grizzly then. Funny thing is I was looking for a black male lab, and then she picked
The way
me.
it always happens.
She picked me, so Trooper came into the house about 3 weeks ago. We were out at a meet and greet, and Trooper wasn't even on the list to be there. And his foster mom, Jane, happened to be there, so it was kind of lick at first sight. So we've been together ever since.
And now what is Trooper's story?
Well, apparently, the doctor said that he was probably thrown from a car or a truck and had severely dislocated his right arm. And so they ultimately had to amputate. And we need to keep his weight at a low level because of all the stress on the front left leg. So he gets his exercise, and you can tell she needs to lose a few pounds. So they're great for each other and great for me.
And dogs adjust really well to disability.
Yeah, probably better than most humans.
Yeah, and he was getting around fantastically. Like there wasn't even a balance issue or anything. I mean, really well, surprisingly well. And I've seen my share of three-legged dogs.
Yeah.
And certainly, and his disposition is just absolutely sweet.
Yeah, he's great. So
What got me last week is I actually saw one that was a two-legged dog, and the dog was fine.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
It's amazing.
we go on hops.
Do you? And
So-
how long have you had them?
Trooper would be 3 weeks, and Grizzly just about 1.5 years.
And they look like they've been together forever.
Yeah, it's amazing. They got along right away. You know, he's a male, she's a female. He does what she says, just like females.
Right. The Trooper should give classes. No. Well, they certainly are cute. Now, are they your dogs?
Yes.
Okay,
They're
so
mine.
these two are not up for adoption.
No, they're not.
No
Unfortunately.
way,
I'm not
nor
giving-
should they be.
Not giving them away. Not giving them away.
I think one of the nice things about our organization is we do see a lot of people like Brad who adopt from us, and then when they're ready for their second dog, they come back to us again, which is great.
Yeah.
We see a lot of that in our organization when people adopt from us, so it's great to have those repeaters.
Where are you
And
headquartered?
Well, we don't have a physical location, but we're just based out of Dallas-Fort Worth, really. You know, we don't have a building or anything.
So everybody works out of their own home.
We do. Yeah, we're all volunteers, and so we've got presence in the Dallas area, you know, all the way north, you know, all the way south and across Fort Worth, which is great. It gives us the opportunity to cover a lot of different areas of the Metroplex. So we do, you know, we have meet and greets, which is what Brad was talking about where he met Trooper. We do those every Saturday at different pet-related locations, and we try to spread them out across the Metroplex to reach a broader audience.
So do you have any coming up in the next few weeks?
We do. Every Saturday, with the exception of this Saturday, we're at a different location. So we go to the Petco in Grapevine as well as Addison. We go to Pet Supplies Plus and a couple others, and all of our information is on our homepage of our website, which is dfwlabrescue.org. We post every week where we're going to be, and we actually post what dogs will be attending. So if
Nice.
someone's interested in a particular dog, they can find out if they're going to be there.
Well, that's what you said. You didn't even know Trooper was going to be there,
Right,
and you
right.
still ended up with Trooper.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for bringing them to show
Absolutely.
on the show. They're absolutely beautiful. And look,
Curious.
And I found a chimenea.
You find something? More money?
So cute.
More money.
And then we also have one other dog with us today, don't we? We have
Come on, Trooper.
Angela and Beltray. which kind of sounds like a familiar name. Look.
Come on, baby.
Hi.
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 Look at this guy. Welcome, Angela. How are
Thank
you?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, my pleasure.
Look how beautiful. So how did you end up with this one?
Well, we've had Beltray for just about a week now.
Oh, wow.
And when we were starting to look at adopting a lab, we really did not think that we were going to adopt a special needs, medical needs lab. But when we met Beltray at a meet and greet a couple of weeks ago, we just fell in love with him. We fell in love with his energy and just how sweet he is. So we just knew that he had to be ours. So it took a couple of weeks, like Lisa was saying, to adopt him, but it was well worth it. He was pulled from a shelter in Fort Worth where he was emaciated and very malnourished. He'd clearly been hit by a car because his bladder had been ruptured.
Oh.
His pelvis was fractured when he was rescued, and just a saint of a rescuer took her into his home. It took him into her home, and he had surgery for all of his problems and just started putting on weight and just getting healthier and healthier. Now, as you can see, he's pretty skinny, and his coat is not completely chocolate yet, just from the malnourishment that he had for a while. But he's a gorgeous boy, and
I was going to say, he's still
He's
absolutely
going to be a
beautiful.
big boy when he's done.
I know, and he's already gained a couple of pounds this week since we've had him, so he's done a good job of eating.
Yeah, well, and hopefully he won't have any more health issues. Is there anything that will linger after these surgeries, or will he be done?
You know, the vet had said that perhaps when he's older he could have arthritis, but we all do.
But that'll be all of us.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so he does great. He loves to swim in our pool. We really wanted to get a dog. He loved to swim.
Yeah.
And he loves to do that, and he's wonderful with our kids, and a little
you've had
excited
him a
right now,
week,
but
and
very,
there's
very
already
calm
this-
at home.
Yeah.
Yes, just had him a week now, but he's ours. We love him.
Well, he's beautiful.
Thank
Lisa,
you.
there seems to be a family atmosphere amongst all of your rescuers and new homes. Tell us a little bit
Definitely.
about that.
Well, I think, you know, people have a passion for dogs, and a lot of people have a passion for labs. And we really get to know our adopters, and a lot of them end up volunteering with our group. So it's nice to have a form of people that have a common interest and common passion. And, you know, every year we have a celebration where we invite our adopters to come out and just join us, and we love to hear what's going on with their dogs. So this year we're doing a special celebration on Saturday, September 8th at our Run for Retrievers, which is a 5K and 1 mile race at Reverchon Park. And as part of that, we're going to celebrate our 15 years. Well, we're going to have birthday cake for the two-legged and the four-legged. And we invite all of our adopters to come out and share their stories and tell us how their dogs are doing, and it's really just an opportunity for everyone to catch up.
So that's Saturday, the 8th of September.
Correct.
And what time does it start?
The 5K starts at 8 a.m. and there's a 1 mile fun run you can bring your dog to. That starts at 8:30. We're going to take a big group picture and post that on our website. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have massages out there for dogs and for humans. Like I said, we're going to have cake, and it's just going to be a really just fun celebration.
And do you have to bring a lab?
No, all dogs on leash and healthy, vaccinated, are welcome to come. You know, this will be our 3rd year for having the race, and we always have a lot of other breeds there as well.
Well, you'll have to tell Bandit about it.
I might have to tell Bandit about it. Are you guys scheduled to be in town?
I think we are.
Because he might get angry. You know, you hear about a birthday party and you want to go. Right? I know I still do. Well, thanks so much for coming
Yes.
on the show and inviting
Thank
your adopters and to bring these beautiful dogs.
Yeah, we're
So-
happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We love to share our stories, and really appreciate the time today that you guys gave
And
us.
we're going to replace those couple of 20s with a $500 check for you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yeah,
Really
no,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, and thanks for all that you do. And again, just to remind everybody out there watching, the 3rd annual Run for Retrievers is Saturday, September 8th, over at Reverchon Park in Dallas. You can go to dfwlabrescue.org to find out more information about this event. Don't go anywhere. Look, he even said so.
We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to the Love of Dogs, and we talk a lot about servicemen and special service dogs. We talk about a lot of different organizations that do that. It's really needed today. We know the suicide rate is way up, and there are over 400,000 of our vets coming home from Afghanistan and Iraq in the next 5 years. Some say as many as 600,000. And dogs can help many of them. And here's an organization that's doing it again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Vets Helping Heroes. And we found this story on NBC Nightly News, and we wanted to share it with you. So listen to Chelsea Clinton as she introduces the segment.
This is the uniforms that we wore.
Erwin Stovroff has an impressive collection of World War II mementos.
So I was given the Air Medal. I was given the Distinguished Flying Cross. I did get the Purple Heart. This is a picture of my plane being shot down.
The World War II hero was on his 35th bombing mission over Nazi-occupied France when his plane crashed behind enemy lines.
They captured me immediately. And this was one time that I really did not think I was going to make it.
Erwin quickly threw away his dog tags, which identified him as Jewish, and survived a year in a German POW camp.
And you're happy that
now,
he's around.
70 years later, the 89-year-old decorated hero is on a different mission. Erwin has raised $3 million to supply service dogs to wounded soldiers, including the newly wounded returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. He began his group, Vets Helping Heroes, after learning there's no government program giving soldiers canine help.
Right, fine curve.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Kathy Champion.
Good girl.
Going blind from a mysterious virus contracted in Iraq.
So I became a hermit of my own house. I quit school. I quit my job.
Erwin raised money to give Kathy her angel.
She has granted me back the life that I felt like was taken away from me.
Sparky, sit. Down.
Training these exceptional canines can cost as much as $70,000 per dog, and takes 18 months beginning in the puppy stage.
Bruce may look like any other lovable Labrador, but he's so much more than that. He's a working therapy dog, helping servicemen and women recover from the wounds of war.
Erwin sponsored Bruce for the West Palm Beach VA Medical Center.
When I first seen him, I fell in love with him.
3 tours of combat duty in Iraq left Master Sergeant Mark Wathme with debilitating PTSD.
But I was pretty sure I was going to come home and he'd have killed himself.
Then Mark got Larry, and life dramatically improved. Erwin Stovroff, she says, is a true hero for many military families.
You can dwell on all the horrible things that happened to you, or you can turn it around and say, I survived, life is good, let me see what I can do for others.
And that's the choice Erwin Stovroff, war hero, former POW, and advocate for wounded warriors, has made. Chelsea Clinton, NBC News, Boca Raton, Florida.
That's just amazing. I'm always amazed at those that will reach out and actually help people that need help. And I love that it's people helping the vets because they so deserve it and they've so helped us.
And so much thanks needs to go out to NBC.
Absolutely, for airing that.
For covering it and airing it.
And Chelsea Clinton for
It's
bringing it to our
amazing.
attention. And
Truly
speaking of Chelsea Clinton and amazing, did you hang out with Bill Clinton and not invite me?
Yeah, I was at a Clinton Foundation event in Park City, Utah last Monday night, and Bandit took your spot.
Well, that happens. That's a hard one to beat.
Yeah,
for a spot.
And
tell
actually,
us about it.
I'm hoping that Chelsea is going to come to a HSUS event in New York, or at least be an honorary chair for it. That's a rescue event that's coming up in September for the Humane Society of the United States, and that event will bust innumerable puppy mills and save thousands of dogs.
That's wonderful. Well, how was it spending some time with Bill?
Well, you know, it's very interesting. He's one of the brightest. Everybody knows he's charismatic.
Yes.
But he is one of the brightest human beings that I have ever met. And it's amazing. If you get him talking about his vegan diet or talking about dogs, he'll get away from all of the politics, even in a presidential election year.
Right, that's so funny. Well, he's a good guy. And then now we're going to tell people about our competition, right?
Yes, we are starting a competition, and if you have a great story about a dog and a human, or a human saving a dog, we want to hear from you through your local rescue or pet organization. Actually, we'll accept submissions for any animal.
Sure.
And it's got to be a story about a pet saving or an animal saving a human, or a human saving an animal. And every week we're going to have 3 of those stories, and you're going to hear some really great stories. And we're going to choose a best in show, a first runner-up and a second runner-up, and their 501c3 nonprofit organizations will receive the prize money. That's really going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. To have this competition and to watch the videos. We're going to do it for 10 weeks between, we're starting very shortly. The deadline for submissions is September 15th. And you can send them to submissions at fortheloveofdogstv.com. Yep, and we'll give you all the details. Or you can talk to your favorite rescue organization about sponsoring you and helping you put the video in or using their name, and then that would be the organization that will get the prize money. And all of the contest rules are on www.americasbesttales.com. Yes, because every contest has a few rules. Every contest has a few rules. So, every animal has a tail. Every animal abusing me again, I know. Look, he's jealous because he wasn't out here with the other dogs today. Well, he's jealous because he can't tell his story. I'm trying to win. Right. You can't enter the competition, Bandit. It's not fair. He says it's not fair. I know, I saw him. Oh, but I think some of our guests might enter the competition. Yes. I've heard a rumor that DFW Lab will have 3 entries. I heard that too. And I heard that one of our guests on the show today is going to be one of those entries. Do we give it away? Maybe. All right. But we'll say this. We really want to thank Lisa Hyne for being here, don't we, with DFW Lab Rescue and bringing all those beautiful animals on the show for us to see. That was amazing. Yeah, and if you want to see the show again, you can go to www.americandogrescue.org. And be sure, as always, to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. This is great. It is great. I love doing this. This is a great show. We'll be back next week. Helping a lot of good dogs.